Hello and welcome to World Archery's Watch Along. It is almost action time. It is Recurve Sunday in Antalya, Turkey. Yesterday we had amazing matches in the compound finals, and today it is time for Recurve Sunday. Of course, the big talking point, it is not 10-10-10, it is 11-11-11. Don't really like how that sounds, to be honest, but there are lots of other stuff that we can discuss and talk. And welcome to this watch along. I already see that apparently we have an issue with the graphics. Let me bring that up in a second. But in the meantime, let me introduce myself and our very special guest, Tsyrenov. Just before, maybe you should know, I'm Bernardo Oliveira, Brazilian Olympic archer, but we are gladly joined, just like we were last time, by former Estonian international archer and now Estonian Olympic coach, Tsyrenov. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you. It's my pleasure to be here, and I want to tell you happy birthday, Bernardo.
Oh, thanks. That's very kind of you.
I didn't say it before on purpose.
Thank you.
It's not that I forgot. It's really that you have a birthday. It's Recurve Sunday, and I'm actually very excited to see the matches because, as you said, 11-11-11. It's the first time ever when World Archery is testing this format of different kind of scoring, and for compound it made quite a big difference. Let's see how it is for recurve. So yeah, I'm excited. And about today's participants, I think it's going to be interesting because we will see a good mix of familiar faces and very medal winners from Olympic Games, World Championships, but at the same time we have newcomers as well. Just as a sneak peek, the Italian woman who is now 29, but when she was still in the junior categories, the youth categories, she was quite active. So in 2014, 2017, she was competing, and then boom, 8 years we didn't see her in national teams, and it's her second ever World Cup stage. So after 11 years away from World Cups, she's back. Second World Cup ever for her, and she is in top 4. So she must be already ecstatic.
It goes to show about the huge Italian talent, and we're going to talk about that and so much more. I'm going to take the cue that you mentioned about we have some veterans, some medal winners, and also some new faces, some exciting new faces. Just before we head on to the schedule, and I come with a couple of reminders before action really kicks in and starts in Antalya. I'm just going to say hello to everyone who has dropped a few comments already. Zaki FF saying hello, I guess. He said hui, so I'm supposing that's hello. Elodie Barrio saying Allez Baptiste and French flag, so it means kind of go Baptiste. So yeah, one of the very exciting names that we're going to see today. Second consecutive Final Four appearance for Baptiste this, I should mention, so great season for him so far.
Yeah.
Pavan Gaikwad, is this a World Cup? It is indeed. And this leads me to tell you that if you go on the left-hand side of your screen, just I hope I'm pointing correctly to the QR code, you will be directed to Archery Plus. It's our streaming service. There is where you can watch all the action. You can watch the main feed, the main program with the competition, watching all the archers and everything. And the idea, as the name suggests, is this is a watch-along. So we're here to make you company, make some good-humored comments, hopefully bring some useful information. So yeah, it's as if I could invite all of you into my living room. It would have to be a really big one. And we're just watching, having a chat. The Sirat has her coffee and everything. And then we just have a chat while commentating and on everything that is going on. So you should have ideally two screens for that. And well, on the right-hand side of your screen, then, we have our schedule. We're going to start today with 4 matches of the Recurve women. First, we have the 2 semifinals. Semifinal number 1, we have Lim Si-hyun from Korea up against Loredana Spara, who Siret mentioned just just now from Italy. So she is a very exciting new face, even though she's not a rookie, let's say. And then we have Ansan, yeah, of course, who made such a huge impact in Tokyo 2020 up against Casey Kaufhold. And then after that, the two losers will shoot for bronze, and then the two winners will shoot for gold. And then we have the same thing with the men's with 4 matches. First, we have Marcos D'Almeida, my former teammate, up against Jonathan Vetter, who is the newcomer here, against Baptiste from France. Sorry, Marcos D'Almeida versus Jonathan Vetter, and then we have Baptiste from France against Buyanto Tsirindorjiev from the International Neutral Athletes. Well, we are starting to get images from Konyaaltı Beach in Antalya with the all-coveted World Cup final trophy standing on top of the highest step of the podium. This is the grand prize that awaits the winners at the final stage later this year in October in China. And just before I pass it over to you, Siret, Lisa Nont, I'm watching this on mute at a service store. Well, Lisa, thank you so much. Maybe you're not hearing me thank you, but thank you so much for tuning in.
Just as a, like, that must take a dedication to watch us on mute. Actually, what you should do is to go to, well, if she's not, if we are on mute, she doesn't hear us, but to actually see the shooting of World Cup, you need to go to Archery Plus, and there you can see the video feed. So we are sitting here, we have a huge screen in front of us, we watch the screen and we will describe what we see. We will give you some details about the archers and maybe just discuss about archery. So that's the point of our watch party. So join us if you prefer our commenting, and if you really want to see what is happening on the field, and our commenting is not enough, then that is available in Archery Plus if you have a subscription.
How do you mean if our commenting is not enough? This is not an option.
We will try our best to actually describe what is going on there. So it started off with a new tradition from this year. So they first invite all 4 semi-finalists to walk out. So they are all walking out, getting introduced, and then the first 2 who need to go to shoot first need to get ready quickly. We are also seeing now some of the scenes from the call room, which is like the last place where you spend the last minutes to get ready to get your focus, and then go and step directly to the final field. It's like next to it, so there is not a long walk. But now adding cameras to the call room, I think it's making it a bit different for the athletes, because this is a place where you could have like your last piece. Now it has moved.
It used to be private, not anymore.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's exciting for us as a spectators. So
exactly.
So, yeah.
Now we have the very first archers and coaches coming into the venue. Then we have, if I can remember correctly, Amedeo from Italy as a coach, former international athlete. He is coaching Loredana Spara from Italy. She will be going up against none other than Lim Si-hyung from Korea, triple gold medalist from Paris. Both archers already with bows in their hands. We're about to get started, and I'm going to bring into the screen the graphics that I'm going to be feeding, plotting the arrows and the scores from the athletes. It is set number 1 underway. Lim Si-hyung is going to be shooting first as she lifts her bow, and we're about to get the very first arrow of the match underway. Ooh.
It's an 8 on the left side. But we never know the wind situation as well. So it does seem that the wind flags are pointing towards that direction. We have 9 low from Loredana Spara. So
clicks on her site there.
Yeah, both of them fixed it. For the Korean archer, the coach was also saying to change that site. And we have a low 9 for her as well. So
nods, talking to her coach, Lim Si-hyung. I think she didn't adjust her sight on that one, right? So feeling confident that next one is going to be inside. Ooh, but great answer from the Italian. Still maintaining. Increases ever more her lead. Provisional 2-point lead over the Korean. Off to Lim Soo-hyung now.
Oh. Wow, and that's an X like in the dead center. And
no,
today...
X11.
Today, for that X ring, she gets 11 points, yes.
11 points.
So that is the difference this competition.
Ooh, it's hard to see with the shadow over there.
I think it's 7.
That's an 8.
7.
You think it's a 7?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a 7.
Yeah, they called it a 7 down there in the range. So let me put that it's going to be a measure. And we're going to get confirmation in just a couple of minutes from 70 meters downrange as we have the agents and the judge checking the arrows. Sirat is very sure about that one.
Yep.
It was a bit tricky to see with...
For me, it was not even tricky.
Yeah. But now I love, once again, this AI tracked, this AI arrow tracker that we have since last year, tracking the arrows all the way downrange, showing maximum height and speed and everything. And it's just startling the difference that we get in speed. For example, we had Lim Soo-hyung, her top speed, 197 kilometers an hour in her arrows. And yesterday, the compounders were shooting above 300 kilometers an hour.
Wow.
Amazing difference.
Okay, so the second set is starting, but we have some new people joining us on YouTube. So just a reminder, if you want to see the video feed of the archers actually shooting in Antalya, then you need to go to Archery Plus. We are here to provide commentary. It's a watch along, a little bit more informal way of commenting the matches. So that's an option, but I'm very happy to see that someone said that they are watching this together with having the images on TV.
There you go.
So
there
like big applause to that person.
Thanks for that. Thanks for joining us, for listening to us rather than Karim and Jeff, even though they're very nice, but I think we're cooler.
So the second set started with the Italian archer this time because she's in the losing position. She's 0-2 behind, but she started with 2 9s, and now we have a 9 and a 10, I think, from Lim.
I'd say 2 9s, and in the venue they're also calling it 2 9s. And by the way, she's quite low. She could well adjust her sights.
Yes.
Loredana now 27 points, all in the gold, 3 9s.
And all a bit high, I would say.
Yeah, and 27 shouldn't be much of a challenge against Lim Soo-hyung, who puts it in the 10.
Yes, the first two were 9s and...
10-9-9 for Lim Soo-hyung, who now extends her lead. Scores are going to be confirmed, but this is pretty much a slam dunk. 4-0 lead for the Korean. And bad news for the Italian camp because, well, Loredana, even though she has this really remarkable kind of comeback story into the Italian main team, but yeah, when you make it the Final Four, it's really good, but losing 4-0 up against the Korean, not the best thing. Huh?
Yeah, but I would still say that the fact that she's there in top 4 is already great. If she can take set points, if she would even win a match, either this semi-final or a bronze match or whatever match she will have next, then it would be a win for her, I think, because you can see from her face, body language, and her moving on that area that she's not as experienced, like not close to even as experienced as the other archer. Yeah.
Loredana shoots her very first arrow. It's yet another 9. Once again high, but close to the 10 now, edging closer to the center of the target. She desperately needs to be shooting some 11s to try and put some pressure into Lim.
And it's a 10.
Who in turn shoots a 10.
Yeah.
Off to Spara from Italy, getting to
She has very dynamic technique, like the elbow keeps moving throughout her shot, like the full time, like visibly moving. Like it should be moving for most of the archers, but she really has it visibly moving.
That's something I like about her shot, but I wanna add a little bit of spice in our comments. I don't like her bow hand though. I don't like her bow hand positioning. I think it's way too much to the outside.
Yeah, that is true. Like, of course, there is way worse, and you wouldn't get the top 4 with a terrible one.
It's a done deal for Korean Lim Si-hyung. She just blasts past Loredana Spara from Italy. A 9-arrow job by the Korean. She is now through to the gold medal match, while the Italian, who is in fact, by the way, the oldest archer we have in today's session.
Yes.
She is 29, and she will have to settle with the chance of shooting for bronze. Yeah. Shaking hands with the Koreans. Korean coach bowing down slightly.
Just to show the difference in their world rankings or their level, the Lim is first in world ranking. Do you know, like, just a guess?
Loredana's?
Yes.
200.
Before this competition, she didn't have a current world ranking because she hasn't been competing. And her career best was 110 11 years ago, 2014. So I really don't blame her for shooting 9s only. Like, it's really good.
But this is a good point you made. Shooting in a venue like this is a hell of a stress test.
Yeah.
And
and it goes so quickly. I think if you are used to shoot on national level, you have those competitions that you shoot your arrows, you go to collect them. You don't have those kind of TV final type of matches and this experience where everything is like quickly. You shoot, arrows are marked, they are pulled out, and you continue shooting again. You don't even go to collect your own arrows. There is someone going to collect them. So I completely admire that this change in this jump for her to go back to international competition finals, and then she still is able to shoot mostly only 9s, or actually she didn't shoot out of yellow.
No, she shot a 7.
Yes,
she shot a 7 in the first end.
Yeah. But 6-0.
But
quickly.
Italy is such a strong nation that it's one of the nations that I say that no matter who's in the national team, that in itself is already a testament to their level.
Yeah.
So nations like usually Mexico, Italy, Compound in the US, of course Recurve in the US as well, Korea goes without mention, but in Italy they have a stat that I find mind-blowing, which is from 1996 they have not won a medal at the Olympic Games, only in 2016 and 24, I think. So they have always won a medal at the games, and this is a true testament to their quality.
Yeah, that's true.
Good.
Very impressive. And we have someone, Pablo from Argentina, joining. Thank you for joining us, and
Hola,
thank you, Mariana,
días.
as well. It would be cool if you guys leave in the comments 2 things. Where are you from? Where are you watching us from? Because then we can also guess what time it is for you. And then secondly, is it your first time joining a watch along, or have you done this already before? And if it is your first time, I want to see you back here some other time. I don't know if I will be back here, but it would be lovely.
You will for sure. Get ready. Well, you're going to the World Championships in Gwangju, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
so
okay,
I'm not sitting on that sofa. I hope to be on the screen.
You will be on the screen, and we're going to be commentating on that. Yeah, of course.
Actually, last week I was in Turkey. There was another world ranking event, and there I was coaching. So
and I was watching that, and it was great stuff. Well, we're about to get underway with semi-final number 2, Recurve Women, Casey Kaufhold up against Unsun. This can be a very, very exciting match. Very much looking forward to this one, and we're getting underway. It'll be Unsun shooting first on target 1. At full draw, very nice sunglasses she's got. And it's a 9, low left.
They are ultra reflective.
Yeah, and it must be really sunny there in Antalya. We saw the Korean boys with like those things here under the eyes to reduce the glare a little bit.
And we have Ansan fans joining, so...
She's got a massive fan base, massive.
Yeah. And in Korea, it is 8:15 in the evening.
Good, prime time.
Great time to watch.
Prime time.
So, the first set is after 2 arrows equal, 18-18.
Yes. Okay, graphics are now back up. I apologize for that. Ansan,
3
triple
nines
nines.
for Ansan. She was third in the qualification round, and Casey was 18th in the qualification round. And I think it's a 10.
Me too. I'm
I
calling
think
that
it's
a 10.
So it should be 2-0 lead for Casey.
We'll wait for confirmation, but now that while we wait for that, and very likely we're going to have the camera showing the target judge just checking the lines there 70 meters downrange as we have Casey Kaufhold opening an umbrella. And we see that judge is checking. Did she point out, or? I think that was pretty straightforward.
Yeah,
huh?
no, it was cutting the line.
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah. Okay, so 28-27. We'll have official confirmation in just a minute.
But both archers have arrows on the left side, and if you remember the last match, then Lim Seong also started with an 8 on the left side.
Yeah.
So the wind must be affecting the arrows and pushing them more to the left compared
Actually,
to their...
even yesterday, a lot of matches in the compound matches, a lot of people, they were starting to the left as well.
Well, they are probably shooting... The sea is on the right side, I guess, so the wind is coming from the sea, I think so.
Yeah, but for Turkey, Antalya standards, this is not a lot of wind.
Oh, yeah.
Actually,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's quite nice. That's a 10, I think.
Yeah, me too.
Close to X-Ring, which this week, gives 11 points, so...
Just a millimeter out.
I think it's a 10, yeah.
Had a feeling it was a bit of a long hold for.
Yeah, she didn't look like super happy with that shot.
Yeah, 9, 1 o'clock for Kaufhold. Now off to Ansan at full draw.
Oh, that was a nice shot, but 9.
I tend to think all of Ansan's shots are nice shots.
That is also true.
I think her shot is so beautiful. Like, it's one of the most beautiful shots I've ever seen.
And 8 for Casey.
First
Shaking
arrow
her
out of the
head.
gold. Ansan in the detail there.
And a 9 on the left as well.
Is still
So
to the left.
the-
Then she is out of reach for Casey. No, an 11 will tie.
Yeah.
We haven't had 11 so far in this match.
And it's a 10.
That's close. That's close, but won't do the job.
Yeah.
Ansan draws level, then it's going to be 2
2-2.
set points all across the field. We just saw Elias Cuesta, former Spanish national team coach, now the big signing for the USA team, there with Casey. And they have once again that they had from last year their little mascot, kind of a USA themed penguin. But I think you have something to say. You had
Yeah, we have a discussion now in the YouTube comments, and
bring it on.
The discussion is, of course, again that what's the point of us commenting if they can't see?
Yeah,
But
it's a watch along.
You can see it on Archery TV. So Archery Plus, you scan the QR code that's on the screen, and you will be able to see. We are also watching the feed, and we are commenting. So it's just more relaxed way of watching matches and watching along, like the name suggests. Watch along.
Absolutely.
That's a 9.
Ansan's first
we
arrow in the third set.
We have a third set, 2-2, so it's all square. And Casey struggling again. Like, shots get quite long, I think. And
Yeah, she shakes her head.
she has 8 high.
8 high for Casey Kaufhold. Seems to be losing some momentum. And Ansan is not capitalizing 100%. Like, she's not shooting the lights out. So Casey still has a big chance to make a comeback here. Now her second arrow,
And 10.
it's a 10.
Yeah, great.
Still both archers with a tendency to be on the left rather high. Nobody very dialed in yet. Everybody's still giving each other opportunities, as we see.
And that's an 8 on the right side.
A good demonstration of Bokwando from Ansan, dropping an 8 to the right. Off to Casey, who still has a chance. Ooh, and shoots another 8 at about 9 o'clock. What a missed opportunity that's gotta be for Casey. It's still not a happy look on her face. She could have taken crucial set points in this third set. Very likely it'll be 3-3.
Yeah, I think so. And the video feed is showing us like the slow motion of her bow hand and really demonstrating the 2 Olympic rings.
Yeah.
Rings with the rings image on it. Olympic rings image.
And she's got a very nice the Olympic rings necklace as well. Yeah. All right. Not happy looks from either archer, honestly. Nobody looking so happy. Not that we would see Ansan shooting happy because she's got a very, strict poker face.
Yeah.
But Casey just looks a little bit worried, a little bit unsettled. She needs to find her shot.
If I look the stats, the previous matches that they had before, so in the early stages, first 2 matches, Ansan got 6-0 clean through, but then had 7-3 and 6-5. So last match, quarter final was with shoot off against Indian archer, but then for Casey it has been fighting all through the eliminations, meaning 7-3, 6-4, 6-2. It hasn't been like clean 6-0. So wow, and that's an that's 11. An 11.
First 11 of the match.
Yeah.
This has got to be bad news for Casey Kaufhold. Finds the 10. She's still high. Still already for about 9 hours.
And she's
all her
changing
shots.
the sight a little bit.
Adjusting her sight. Ansan with a very good opportunity to go up to 5-3.
And it's a 9 high.
Yeah, 30 for Ansan. Her body language isn't very good coming out of the line. Not that happy with her shooting.
And a 10 for Casey.
10 for Casey. Now she's up against the ropes. Nothing interests Casey Kaufhold other than winning the 5th set to then force a shoot-off.
So,
Casey, who earlier this week had a very significant win with her team against Korea. The USA team beat the Korean girls in the semifinal. For the first time in, let me bring the news that World Archery put out.
Yeah, that was really...
Yeah, it was really, really impressive.
But I believe her average arrow there was a bit better because she had 9.5 average in the team matches. But at the same time, it's not that bad scoring there as well because it's by the beach. The wind must have some gusts over there, and it's difficult to assess this because we see from the video feed that archers are shooting and there is like a closed tent on one side and a closed tent on the other side, so it's kind of almost like a half of the distance of 70 meters, and then the second half is without the tents. So the effect is that the archer who is standing in between 2 tents doesn't really sense the wind the same way as it's going to affect the second half of the way to the target. So.
Yeah, we talked about it yesterday as we see Casey shooting her second arrow, and it's her second 10. This might be a very fitting comeback from her. We'll see Ansan's response, which is a 9, so Casey provisionally 1 point ahead. But this is something we talked about yesterday, the fact that the grandstands and the tents, they might be shooting the athletes, making it a little bit harder to judge the wind.
Yeah. Wow, that's nice set.
So Ansan needing an 11 to
Yes.
take the match and make it an all-Korean gold medal final. Ansan shoots her arrow. It's a 10, so we have a shoot-off. It's 30 to 29. Casey Kaufhold manages to make an amazing comeback in the very last regulation set, and we're going to have our first shoot-off of the day. All right, Ansan getting her arrows from the runner that brings the arrows all the way from the target. This is a very nice perk of shooting a final like this. Usually, and most of the time in competitions, we are going to the target to fetch the arrows ourselves. But then in a final like this, to add the dynamic, we have somebody else fetching the arrows for the archers, and it's a very nice feeling when you're shooting and you have somebody bringing the arrows for
but
you.
it makes the pace of the competition so much more fast. Like it's incredible being on the finals field. I have been as a coach, and it just goes way quicker than normal, because usually when my athlete is shooting, I can give her feedback, and then she can go collect the arrows, reflect on it a little bit, come back and maybe have a question, or I just add something, remind something, and then she goes to shoot again, and the pace is really different. And there it's just like boom, 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 super quick.
What you mentioned the previous match, for example, Loredana, when you lose 6-0 in a match like this, it feels almost kind of like, whoa, is it over?
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And when you're the one who lost, it's terrible, because it feels like, man, I didn't even have a chance to, I don't know, to react.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we have comments that it must be really windy out there. So I would say yes and no. For Antalya, it seems it's not super windy, in a sense that we have seen in previous years how in Antalya during the matches there are even blues, and I think even like further out the arrows, because the wind is just so strong.
When I shot for a medal in Antalya, it was a wind like that of shooting blues. And
and I have seen compound shooting misses in Antalya, like really in the finals field. So it is tricky if your finals venue is right next to the sea. So that is really making it tricky. But now it's 5-5, shoot off, and Ansan is shooting first. It's at 10. It's like
10.
Exactly between 9 and 11. So it's 10.5, if I can say like that.
It's going to have to be a very good arrow from Casey. She shoots. It's a 9.
It's a 9 on the right side.
At about 4 o'clock. So Casey Kaufhold, by a matter of just millimeters, ends up being beaten in the end by Ansan. So we're going to have an all-Korean gold medal final in Antalya to determine who's the big champion in the recurve women division. And we're going to have Italian Loredana Spara against Casey Kaufhold shooting for a bronze in just a couple of minutes' time.
In meanwhile, I can bring up some more statistics about these two archers who were just shooting. They have some similarities. So, for example, they have both been world number ones according to world ranking. So, for Ansan, 2021 was a super successful year. So she was world number one right after Tokyo, because she got a triple gold medal in Tokyo Olympics. She didn't make it to the Paris Korean team, national team. So that's how tough it is. You are triple Olympic gold medalist from the previous Olympics, and you are not in the team for the next Olympics. That's how tough it is in Korea.
And then your country comes up with another archer who does the same thing. Triple
and then that explains why her current world ranking is 54. But now if we go to Casey Kaufhold, then for her 2023 and also 2024 were quite successful years. So first time being world number one was in 2023, and right now she's nowhere else than number 2. So actually she's still, like, for the last 3 years very stably being on the really top part of the results ranking. Even if she's not every time like on the podium, you still accumulate the world ranking points enough to be world number 2. So, and she shoots indoors exceptionally well as well.
That's right.
I think that's really helping her world ranking to go high.
Yeah, absolutely. We're about to get started with the bronze medal match already. I just quickly brought up the updated schedule with the updated scores, and now I'm gonna bring up the target and I'm gonna plot. The buzzer is already off. We have Casey Kaufhold up against Italy's Loredana Spara. It is the American shooting first. She lifts her bow, about to shoot her very first arrow, only minutes after losing the chance to shoot for gold.
I see Casey is struggling still. Like, her shots doesn't feel so natural and so relaxed. Like she has, yeah.
Yeah. Well.
Wow, 11. We start with an 11 by Spara.
Yeah, I wonder if also it makes a difference the fact that Spara, she could afford to spend some good minutes under the shade, cooling from the immense heat that archers are experiencing in Antalya. Well, now this makes it for Casey about 20 minutes straight under the sun. This could be a factor.
And 11, that's beautiful. She found her groove. Like how an archer who hasn't been competing internationally for 8 years is coming without any world ranking, because she hasn't been competing internationally, and coming to this bronze match and starting with 11, and the third shot was really quick. It's an 8.
It's an 8.
But it's absolutely enough to get the two set points. So 30-27.
Absolutely. Crucial few words she's exchanging with her coach down there in the box. Loredana Spara, an amazing start she just had into this match. 30-27. I got it wrong saying she edged by only 1 point. I had a little doubt about the lower 11, but from that angle it's clear cut that is an 11. Amazing shooting by the Italian. And Casey also really hard, what a roller coaster ride that semifinal was for Casey. The shoot off and everything, you're max concentration, and then in just a snap of a finger, you gotta be back out there shooting for bronze.
And be kind of reset in your mind to not let yourself be bothered by the fact that you actually lost the match, not by a lot, but it's still a loss.
Yeah.
So
Casey Kaufhold shooting first once again. The detail of the arrow just a couple of millimeters away from the clicker. Off it goes.
It's a 10.
It's a 10.
Good.
Good stuff from her. Casey Kaufhold just looking more composed and very focused now. Now the Italian's turn. That one came off quickly.
I think it's 11.
9, no?
These shadows are really confusing me. I thought it's a little...
One of us is very wrong. Casey Kaufhold with a 9.
No, it's a 9 on the official scoring as well. That's me.
Well, thanks God I'm the one plotting us here at...
It's an 8. Okay. Yeah, it is a clear 9.
Yeah, okay. I'm glad I'm the one that got it right this time. Casey Kaufhold, her last arrow, off it goes. It's an 8. She just drifted.
It's actually quite fast shot compared to the other shots that she was making.
That's right.
What is a bit surprising for me, and I haven't watched her technique that closely before, but and an 8 on the other side.
Yeah,
they both look...
I'm pretty sure this was the worst set that we have seen so far today.
Yeah, but if... From the sofa, it looks like, looks like all over the place, like 3 8s.
Wait for Madrid, stage 4. I'm going to get ourselves caps written sofa archer. So we can put the sofa archer cap on and then just, throw shade and say bad things about everyone out there shooting. Yes,
because I remember it way too freshly how difficult it actually is to get those arrows on yellow on 70 meters, because it doesn't look like that on the screen. It doesn't look that far on the screen, and that yellow is like this size on 70 meters. It's really not easy.
Casey, the buzzer goes off. She's nearly at full draw. The American levels at 2-2 against the Italian Loredana Spara.
It's a 9. She's fixing her sight.
7 o'clock.
I think she put it lower, not the left-right.
Her previous 3 arrows were a little bit low, so it goes in line with that.
And a 9.
Matched by her Italian counterpart.
So we have a question if something has changed for this season with scoring, that we have 11 points, and we have already Ayush Gupta who is saying that yes, X counts as 11, which is absolutely correct, but it's not for the season, it's only for that specific competition. So they are testing it out in Antalya this week. So these matches are the last matches right now, and I think this year at least, that X counts as 11.
Yeah, and you can tell us better. I think it's even too late to propose it to be voted in Congress later this year in September.
You mean for Olympics? You mean just in the regular rule book?
Yeah, to make it a permanent change in archery.
No, I think this has passed for this year.
Yeah.
But I haven't read all that was submitted. Maybe it was submitted.
No. I know for sure it wasn't submitted.
Okay.
And so yeah, this is a one-off test that has been run. Especially Compound was pushing for this, because Compounds they and I agree with them that there were way too many ties in Compound, and even in the qualification round in the matches. So yeah, but already in a month's time, when we have the World Cup, the fourth stage in Madrid, it's going to be back to the regular scoring system. The World Championships, the World Cup final, everything will be back to normal. This is just a test.
It is possible to test it in World Cups, because the World Archery Rulebook is explaining different formats, but is specifying like really directly saying how it is shot in Olympics and how it's shot in the World Championships. So it is, World Cups is a perfect possibility to test this kind of changes in formats.
Oh yeah, you're hearing from a specialist, Sirat, who worked for a really long time in World Archery and knows everything down to the finest details.
Well,
we are go
thank
for
you
the
for
fourth.
That trust.
We're go for the fourth set. Kaufhold has just shot her first arrow. She is still low. Some more clicks to her side.
And she's behind. 2-4 is the set point. So
Loredana now at full draw. Shoots her arrow. It's a 10. She's back on top form. She is now within reach of victory and a bronze medal. What a story it would be.
Oh, that's 11.
11 for Casey.
Sure. That's for sure. 11.
What a story it would be for the Italian to make it a podium in her World Cup comeback 11 years later.
Yep.
She shoots her second arrow. It's a 9. She's solid within the yellow, but we wonder whether Casey is gonna cement this comeback off with a third arrow. And she does it. It's a 30 for Casey Kaufhold.
Yeah, but there could be 11.
So Spara with the 11 can go 5-3. That was a quick shot.
But that's a 7.
Yeah, and it was twitchy. We saw she didn't have the balance there. Her arms just moved a little bit there in the end. I think it was a little bit too fast for her liking. And now it's going to be 4-4. Casey Kaufhold for the second time today, going to the fifth set. And boy.
Oh, she discovered that one of the fletching is completely
torn.
Yeah, so
ripped.
If she wouldn't have noticed it and would have shot, it would have been pretty bad.
Could be a miss.
It really will affect, because the way it was torn, it would not fly to the center, for sure not.
Oh yeah. Casey Kaufhold, I touched on this point of the weather, and let me look what's the weather in Antalya right now. We have 87 degrees Fahrenheit for the American audience, 31 degrees Celsius. Under the sun, scorching sun, we see absolutely no clouds in the sky. And we're go for the fifth regulation set. Casey Kaufhold shooting first, just like she has done in every single set so far in this bronze medal match. Off it goes.
10.
It's a 10 for Kaufhold at 10 o'clock. Off to Spara. She needs her very best form if she wants to walk away with a medal.
Oof. 7.
That's another 7 from the Italian.
That is not what she needed to put pressure on Casey. So Casey should feel it a bit more relaxed. I think she has enough experience to tell herself in this moment that, you know, you don't need to do anything special anymore. You just do your own shooting, shoot yellows, and that will be enough.
Exactly. Everything seems to be coming undone for the Italian. She shoots a 9 on the other side of the target. Very comfortable for Casey. Arrow of the match.
And it's a 10.
And
10,
what
10, 10.
a way to finish things here.
So.
What a campaign that was for Casey Kaufhold. I think she's crying. Already emotions running high for the American.
And a 10 to finish. But she
Loredana.
did really good. Like, I really hope she's happy with herself. But the Italian archer, I mean, after 11 years without World Cups, that is brilliant shooting.
That was a kind of a arrow of honor there
Yeah.
in the end. Even though
Yeah.
there was nothing she could do, she finished it with a
But
10.
Casey really is very emotional. But I think it's because these, at least the two last matches that we saw, they were not coming easy. They were not coming very, like, lightly. The shots, and you could see like stress on her face as well, that she was not happy with the way it was going. So it's just could be the release of these high emotions coming down, having this tension coming off, and the tears come. So it's a natural reaction of the body, I think.
I dare say, once again, my so far archer cap on. I think this has been a kind of a struggle for Casey for some time. We could really see this in Paris. So she was eliminated fairly early in the individual matches, and then how she won that bronze with Brady in the mixed team. You could see that it was just so hard for her. Like, it must have been an immense effort that she had, and still she delivered.
Yeah.
And it was actually very beautiful to see the dynamic she had with Brady. Like, he was really kind of the older brother in there for her, kind of a rock. And now she had to work really hard for this medal, and we see her celebrating effusively. But amazing stuff from the American and for the Italian as well. We gotta give a shout out to her.
But out of the four female archers who we have in these top four matches, then Casey have been to World Cup stages the most, 16 times, while now coming Korean archers, Ansan has been 8 times shooting in World Cups, and Lim Sin-young 7 times. And if going back, last comment about Casey is that she's getting a bronze this time now, but she has had 1 gold in 2023 and no more individual medals. So this medal actually meant a lot for her.
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah,
it was against Lisa Barbelan.
yeah.
So it was in Paris, the World Cup stage in Paris, and we don't have to say that the crowd was going absolutely bonkers for Lisa.
Yeah.
But well, hats off to Casey, who managed to silence the crowd. It was amazing stuff for her.
Yeah. So now we are going to the gold medal final. It's all Korean final, and let's see what's happening in the comments.
Here we go. It'll be Lim Si-hyun wearing white, shooting first on target number 1. Ansan is wearing blue. Lim with a 9, 7 o'clock. Coach pointing her, indicating more or less the direction where her shot hit. Ansan now at full draw. Explosive shot as always. Matches with a 9. This time high. Lim, that very deep anchor that Koreans do often, finds the 10, is still to the left, looks back to the coach, and Ansan's glasses are one of the highlights today. Oh boy. We also, who had very nice glasses that we were watching yesterday? Nick Kappers from the United States. He also had some very nice shooting sunglasses.
It's a 9.
Whoa, what a group, huh?
Yeah.
From Lim.
Just coming off, just like,
Yeah.
the group is good, just in the wrong place.
Just in the wrong place. I'm giving clicks on the site, but still it won't move.
Maybe the target is in the wrong place.
Felix, who was our guest yesterday, he said the same thing. So fault of the target.
But there is one question and comment about 11s in the chat that I don't understand the question completely. So overall, it seems people like the 11 idea, because in recurve as well, sometimes the sets and matches are very tight. But PB player has said that 11s seem more special than previous 10s. I agree. How are the samples with 11s with top athletes from Korea? And I don't understand that
Samples.
Advances.
Yeah.
So if I compare, for example, in the qualification round, they shot this time also 60 arrows instead of 72. That was also a change. So Ansan had 12 11s, Lim Signon had 13 11s, but for example, Loredana Spara, who was 37th, so shot way lower score than them, but she had 7, so not that much less. And at the same time, Casey, who was 18th, she had only 4. So
wow,
there is a difference, but I don't know what conclusions to draw from that yet.
But then the important question: are you in favor of 11 becoming permanent or not?
I feel it deserves at least more testing.
Good
I'm
answer.
not like...
Good answer. Diplomatic.
Yeah, I'm not fully sold. Let's say that way as well. But it's not bad. It's not bad. It's making it a bit interesting for me. I just need to figure out how it relates to the fact that all the other rings have the same width, but 10 and 11 are smaller now. So
yeah, that's right. Yeah, this is also it's interesting to point out, as we've just had the conclusion of the second set, and provisionally we have Lim Chi-hyung going 4-0 up on Ansan. But this is something I wanted to say. This is a 122 centimeter target face that we have, and archers are shooting at it 70 meters away. And so if you break it down, every zone of the target, it has a width of 6.1 centimeters. So when you see, for example, the 9 on the right on the target, or anywhere, it is 6.1 centimeters. The 10, because there is nothing inside of it, actually the X counts as part of the 10. The 10 itself is 6.1, makes for a total diameter of 12.2, and the X is half of that. So the X, the width would be 6.1, 3.05.
yeah.
So yeah, there's number salad for you
and
guys.
there is an argument that the only thing strange for me, the PB player is saying that, is that in general the perfect score as 33 doesn't look as good as 30.
Totally agree.
I agree
I'm a
totally.
purist.
And also for me, the overall statistics and all that, it doesn't look so good, these numbers. Like, and also the maximum score of 660 if you shoot 60 arrows and count 11s. I don't know. That is the part that's not fully selling it for me. But we have a lot of Ansan fans here cheering for her.
Man, she has a huge fan base.
She really, really needs some cheering because wow, that's
wow, that was a precise one.
11.
That center.
She
amazing.
needs Ansan is shooting the third arrow. She needed 11. It's a 10.
She
so
hasn't shot any 11s. It might be a 6-0 sweep for Lim Si-hyung.
yes, it is. It's a 10, right?
I think so. The shadow makes it hard to
But I think
see
it is
that.
a 10.
I think it's a 10. And
Either way, she would win, even if it would be a 9.
no, yeah, it seems, yeah. Man, oh boy. Lim Si-hyung comes into the finals day, 6-0 semifinal, 6-0 gold medal final.
Wow.
Well, we don't have to say anything more about her. World record holder,
Yes.
triple Olympic gold
And do
medalist.
you remember where she shot the world record? In Paris Olympics.
In Paris,
Like,
yeah.
who does that?
No,
She
like-
does that, obviously, but like this is amazing if you shoot the world record in Olympics. She's also world ranking 1.
Yeah.
She was the first in the qualifications in this competition. Amazing, amazing.
No, the thing is like Ansan in Tokyo 2020, she already did something that was mind-blowing. She broke the Olympic record and she won 3 gold medals.
Yeah.
Okay, that was already super amazing. It feels like nobody is ever going to break that. And then Lim Si-hyung, she comes and she does even more because not only she won 3 Olympic gold medals, she broke the Olympic record, but she also broke the world record.
Yeah. Incredible.
Yeah. Absolutely amazing.
I was there.
You were there.
The weather wasn't bad, but I wouldn't say that it was like still with no wind. So she did good.
And I was there when Kang Chae-young, who is shooting in the team with Lim Si-hyung and Ansan, broke the world record in Den Bosch in the Netherlands in 2019. and I can tell you that was like indoor weather.
Really?
It was super still. Like the field was almost kind of like embedded in this park full of trees all around.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was just perfect.
But I made some math. So for Lim Young, who shot 584 out of 660 in the qualification round with this experimental X counting as 11 and shooting 60 arrows. But if we would count her 13 11s as 10s and then take the average arrow and what would be the score according to the regular scoring of 72 arrows, it would have been 685. And shooting 685 in Antalya field is impressive as well.
Amazing
685 is only 9 points less than world record. So
yeah. We are about to hear from our champion Lim Hyung being interviewed by Lucy O'Sullivan. I remind you guys that here on the left-hand side of your screen you have the QR code to go to Archery Plus, and there you can watch everything, including the interview with Lim Hyung. We're hearing from her. Translator is gonna translate it to English in just a couple of moments. But yeah, in our watch-along, we want you to be watching everything that we're watching here, and we're here to make you company.
So last time in Shanghai, the
so last time it was also all Korean final, but she was out of it. She was not shooting in the final.
Yeah. It was Lee Ka-hyung that won.
And if I understood her comment correctly, it gave her extra motivation this time to take the gold and giving her extra pleased feeling to have this gold, actually. But Bernardo, when you have time, there is one comment in Korean, which I am not able to read.
Okay.
If you are able to read, I can also, of course, Google translate it.
No, I'll check it in a bit. Let's just finish to hear from Lim Hyun. Yeah, and now as Lucy now is mentioning to Lim Hyung, now so also she booked a place to the final.
Oh,
so
yes.
Now she's guaranteed to be in the final. Yeah.
So she has been 2 times in World Cup final, and 2023 she managed to get the bronze from there.
Mm-hmm. Great. I'm just checking here.
She has 5 individual medals before that one, so now she has 6 individual medals, but she has been only to, including this one, 8 World Cup stages. So basically 6 out of 8 times she has got the medal. That's unbelievable. Like she really is very
and so young, right? She's
21. Yeah, only 21, and so many, like all these titles and achievements that we have listed. It's incredible.
Absolutely mind-blowing. When I started shooting archery, Lim Hyung was only 1 year old. This is bonkers.
So we have Rui Macedo telling that it's nice to hear us guys talking. Yes.
Thank you.
But not being very happy that it's not free to watch anymore. But at least it is possible to watch, and for that you need to go to Archery Plus.
Yeah, so. and there is, as you said the last time, I totally understand that it's not pleasant that it used to be free to watch before. Now we have to pay, but that is for a good reason, which is that we are being able to sell the rights of broadcasting archery to more and more territories. And of course, when a broadcast company buys the rights to broadcast archery, it's not the best thing if the federation, us, that has the rights of the competition, if we're also putting it up for free on the internet. So there is a good reason for why it is paid. And so, but also just to say that when you get to the subscription to Archery Plus, you get access to so much more, not only the live competitions that you can watch all throughout the year, but also you can watch the 10 documentary that was brilliantly made and released last year, a documentary it's really, really nice talking to so many important people in the history of Korean archery, and they're explaining how the big Korean dominance started when they simply just wanted to have a good showing at their home games in Seoul 1988. It's a very nice documentary. There is another documentary, Target Paris. There are other feature stuff, Brady Allison's Believe, and more stuff that is being recorded, like that has been being done and is going to be released on Archery Plus very soon. So yeah, you get more content than just the competitions, and it's totally worth it.
There is an interesting question and topic in the questions that we mentioned that Lim Signon is very young, 21, but there is a question that but isn't it usual that archers peak quite young, that they remember that in 2012 Brady was also super good and being super young, and all the Chinese and Korean aces are also quite young. And for me, at least I have analyzed it in a way that yes, it is possible in early age to really get to the world top level as well, because I feel then you have this fearlessness in you, you have this courage, and if you have done already before the physical work that you need to put in, and then you manage to peak both physically and mentally, be also having this thirst for winning and not being so cautious and so afraid, if you manage that, how it clicks together, then for example, like let's take Matthias Fullerton, who is right now very young but also on top, or Lim Signon, who is 21 and already last year she was doing great things. So yes, we do see many young athletes peaking like this, but at the same time I also feel there is a second group which maybe is getting percentage-wise smaller, but it's the ones who have then came out from the youth classes. Then usually comes a little bit of downtime, in a sense of I feel if you grow as a person outside of sport as well, then you start to realize some things that might have a negative influence on archery as well. Maybe you're starting to feel more pressure to achieve, and not only the joy of achieving, and all these things, and usually it pushes athletes down a little bit. So for me, I see that many athletes peak and then it goes down a bit when they try to figure out who they are in this world, how to live an adult life, and then also it translates to archery, to like this fearlessness. Good. Yes. If it's kind of disappears for a while, you need to figure out what works for you again, and then once it clicks again, then you're probably going to be even stronger than you were before, because that is the age where you are able to use your experiences and have this maturity and stability. And when you go against unexperienced athletes, they don't shake you that easily and all that, so you're not surprised as easily. So I think archery is a sport where age does matter. So I remember the statistics when I was still shooting myself for 2008 Olympics. The average age was 28.5 Olympic archer. So that is way higher than the today's finalists' average age.
The lineup,
But my theory that I have about this, using your youth to your advantage and then coming back based on your experience, I think the Italian archer who was just left out of the podium very by a small margin, Spara from Italy, she's exactly example of that. She was shooting 2014 to 2017 on European level, and she came back.
There is so many interesting things that I want to pick from what you said. I think you've made some really good points. But I want to link to what we're going to watch in just a bit. We've just had the podium ceremony for the Recurve women. And so on the right-hand side of your screen, you have the schedule that we have. So we have 4 matches left today. The very first semifinal in the Recurve men, we have my former teammate, Marcos D'Almeida. And he is an example of exactly what you said. He peaked when he was so young. He was 16. And he had this kind of like this reckless, in a good way, attitude of the youth. He was like, he wasn't afraid of anything. And then speaking for him, of course, it would be best to hear this from him. But I you know, had this close contact with him for a really long time. He really felt the pressure of these early expectations, you know. A lot of expectation was placed on him, and then he really struggled to deal with that. And being a former archer myself, I feel that to perform well at a competition, it's kind of like it's this equation that there are so many variables that you need to get right.
Yep.
And a lot of it is your personal life. And why I'm saying this is because D'Almeida, once he told me, I think in 21 or 22, he told me that something that he saw as a key factor for the kind of like the success that he had once again was the fact that he made the decision to move in with his girlfriend, who is now wife.
That's what I said, that figuring out also as a person who you are, how you do this adulting thing. So like his girlfriend, she used to live in another city, and then she came to live in the same city as him. They moved in, and then like that did a lot of good to him personally. And then it just unlocked the performance to then shoot the best he could in the world stage. So yeah. Yep. Great stuff. We are about to get underway with the Recurve men. So out of the 8 matches we had today, we're already done with 4. We had a Korean sweep in the gold medal final. Lim Si-hyung just was unmatched. It was no match for anyone. 6-0 in the 2 matches. And let me read the Korean comment you mentioned, Siret. I can't read the name because the name is written in, I'm supposing, ancient Chinese. No, I Google searched it.
Let me tell you, and hopefully I'm correct then. You can tell me whether I'm right or not. The comment, Hanguk Yoja Kein Kum Un. It is just saying that Korean women gold.
Gold and silver match or something like this, I think. Or silver medal.
Yeah.
So
I didn't get the un. That's right.
It's probably just commenting on the stage of the matches that we were watching, but
and I see a comment here. PB player, I miss Chang Hye-jin, Olympic champion from 2016. It was so fun to watch her. Yep. And I'll tell you something. She is a lovely person. She is so sweet. It is someone, I do really miss from meeting in the competitions because she is so sweet.
Yeah.
Good then. Beautiful aerial shot of the venue. It is impressive that such a structure was put up there.
And,
right beside
such
the beach.
A beautiful view. You have palm trees, you have sandy beach, sea, and mountains in the background.
That's right.
It's a wonderful location for a venue.
And also to give context, Antalya, and I talked to Felix about this yesterday, because Felix, who was the guest in the watch-along yesterday for the compound finals, he was in Antalya just a couple of weeks ago shooting the European Grand Prix, I think.
Yeah.
And so, but all of us, we've been to Antalya several times. It's almost kind of this...
I counted. For me, I have visited Antalya more than 25 times.
Jesus.
Not every time for a competition, sometimes for a training camp as well, or work-related, but yes.
I've been there several times, and it happens with us that we, like, for example, I've been to Medellin in Colombia many times, to Antalya, to Wrocław in Poland, and we have some of these repeat places, Shanghai in China. And then it's funny that it happens that we have kind of we already know the place we're going to, so we have a favorite restaurant, a favorite shop that we want to buy souvenirs. It's funny. Good then. So head to Archery Plus, QR code on the left hand side of your screen. You're gonna watch all the action as we're about to get underway In Antalya, Konyaaltı Beach, we have Buyanto Tsyrenov from the team of the international neutral athletes. Baptiste, the youngest in the field today, 18-year-old from France. Despite the young age, the boy already has a silver medal, Olympic silver medal to his curriculum. The first time appearance in the final fours at a World Cup stage for Jonathan Vetter from Germany. And lastly, seed number 1 and big name in international archery, my former teammate Marcos D'Almeida with a new Brazilian uniform, kind of a baby blue shirt. This is a new one. So all 4 athletes lined up, being presented in the venue, and now they're all walking off. Jonathan Vetter, Marcos D'Almeida will get ready as soon as they can, because in just a couple of moments they're walking off into the arena with their bows to shoot in the very first semi-final. Siret, what catches your attention the most about the Recurve Men matches?
So in there, I think it's interesting to see again, for example, Baptiste, who was in the matches last World Cup as well.
Yeah, second consecutive appearance in the Final Four.
Yes, so, but at the same time, Marcos is, I would say, from these top 4, kind of like the Korean out of these 4,
yeah.
According to statistics. I mean, like, he's currently world number 3. He nailed the qualification round, so he is statistically the strongest there for sure.
Yeah, and it catches the attention, the fact that none of the Koreans made it to the Final Four.
And he shot 18 times 11 out of 60 arrows. So if I exaggerate slightly, it's every third arrow. Almost every third arrow.
Yeah.
So that is super impressive because the 11 ring, which is normally like a X ring, that is only 6 centimeters diameter.
Yeah.
So that is super impressive, and want to see if he is able to continue this kind of flow on the finals field as well. Jonathan Vetter and Buyanto Tsyrenov.
Yeah.
If anyone knows in the comments who is watching us how to correctly pronounce it, let me know how I'm
My
doing.
guess is that it's Tsyrenov.
Tsyrenov. Yeah, it makes sense. He's world 59th, so I think there should be interesting matches. And Marcos was the only one who was in ranking round top 4, and we have Vetter 12, Adi 6th, and Buyanto was 23rd. So really coming from like dark horses, coming more from the back. Like this was not really expected who we will see in top 4. We were expecting at least to see 1 or 2 Koreans probably. We don't see that this time. So I think it's making it a bit more interesting. So first semi-final has started, and I give it over to you to bring us up to date. What's going on there?
Absolutely. Marcos D'Almeida already full draw with his 3rd arrow, started with 11 and 9, shoots another 9, 8-liner, but that is a very solid first set for the Brazilian. Jonathan Vetter needing an 11 to tie, but that didn't look like it was going to be an 11. In fact, it was an 8.
It was not very strong shot. He was shaking, and then when he released, he like collapsed his technique. So that was not great. But in the comments, and I must say, I don't know if everybody know that, but Bernardo has a birthday today. So maybe it's something about that, because I think we have some people watching here, and I will do my first try ever to read in Portuguese, Brazilian, I think.
Bring it on.
Enrique Campos is saying: Bernardo, você manda muito bem, parabéns, meu amigo.
Muito obrigado, Henrique. He's a Brazilian coach.
Okay.
If I think it should be. Yeah, absolutely. Brazilian coach We've known each other for a really, really long time, and a very funny guy. Very funny guy.
So there are people cheering for Markus, but there are also people cheering for German archer Vetter, because the PB archer who has been very active interacting with us and asking questions and making comments, he is from Germany actually. So that's
from Deutschland. Jonathan Vetter, full draw now, shooting the first arrow here in the second set. It is a 9-8 liner to the right.
Yeah, it's a good commentary is also that for Vetter the color should be different because it's very difficult to see on the red on red.
Yeah, okay, I will change that. So thanks for pointing that out. Okay.
Oh, that's much better shot from him. Like, Vetter is, I think, gaining his confidence and momentum. I think it's similar to him as well, like it was with the Italian archer, that he hasn't shot that many international finals in this setting, in this space, and it can be quite nerve-wracking in the beginning when you find yourself on that finals field. So.
Oh yeah, I made a little mistake when plotting.
This shot is saying super long. But 9. It's a really good group he has, but...
Good grouping he has over there. I'll just plot Dalmeida's last arrow. He might extend to a 4-0, and he does it. Because he shoots 29, I think, to Vetter's 27. So Brazilian Markus Dalmeida 4-0 up on the German newcomer into the Final Fours, Jonathan Vetter, who is yet to shoot a 10 in the match. Dalmeida has already shot 2 11s, while Jonathan Vetter is yet to shoot his very first 10 in the match. Let me change the color here in just a second.
And I will make my second attempt to make myself fool, because now I'm not going to attempt reading your language, but reading Russian. Oof. So I think the question is где можно посмотреть, and it means who wants to watch or where to watch.
Where to watch.
So you can go to Archery Plus. That is a platform where you can subscribe and you can watch these matches, but you can also watch other matches. So we are here as watch along, like literally watching along. We have a big screen. We are describing what is happening there.
Jonathan Vetter with his first 10 of the match. That is a good reaction if he wants to stand a chance here in the match. Off to Dalmeida now, who's a full draw, his first arrow in the set.
Very relaxed shot.
Ooh, is that an 11 or a 10?
I think 11.
Yeah, I'd call it 11 as well. Third one already for
Vetter is back to shaking and having really long draws again. But it was
yeah, but that's an 8 at 2 o'clock.
Yeah, I'm not putting much pressure on Markus with 8s.
It seems this is a lost cause for Jonathan Vetter, sadly. Dalmeida shoots a 9, extends his lead once again, looking very comfortable to make this a 9-arrow job and win 6-0. Vetter wasn't happy with this arrow. Ended up shooting an 8 close to the other one at about 2 o'clock, leaving it easy for Dalmeida. An 8 will suffice. And what about an 11? The fourth one of the match. Very, very strong shooting. A 30 to finish the match. Maybe 31. He shakes hands with the young Vetter, with German coach Oliver Heiden, and we know for sure that it'll be Germany shooting for bronze, Brazil shooting for gold in just a couple of moments' time.
So, the person who is asking where to watch Archery Plus, yes, he or she doesn't speak English, so she didn't understand my answer. They didn't understand my answer, but I don't know how to answer in Russian. Посмотреть?
Можно посмотреть в Archery Plus.
Oui. Da?
Da.
Oh my God.
Scan the QR code.
All the languages in my head are getting mixed up.
Okay. Yeah, I wish I could speak better Russian. So
But yeah, so the first semi-final is done. It went quickly as well. Markus Dalmeida took the match 6-0, and is going to the gold medal match. He will have now 2 matches to wait because there is another semi-final between Baptiste and Buyanto Tsyrendorziev. Oh, I'm struggling with that name.
Go with Buyanto, yeah.
Yes. So,
for the international neutral athletes team.
Yes.
Coming into the stage now with Baptiste, this also very exciting name that we have in the international circuit. Unfortunately for the French team, ended up missing on the podium last time out in Shanghai. And for sure, we had Lim talking about missing out on gold as motivation for this time around here in Antalya. We'll see whether it's the case for the young Frenchman.
So we have a comment that Kim Woo-jin is still better than Marcus D'Almeida, and my answer to that is not in this competition because both in the qualification, Marcus was first and Kim Woo-jin was second, and now in the matches, Kim Woo-jin actually lost his 1/16th match, so he ended up on 17th place. So, and Marcus ends up in gold medal match. I'm not sure if gold or silver medal, but today Marcus definitely is better than Kim Woo-jin.
Very strong showing. And by the way, last year in Antalya, the gold medal final was between the two of them. It was a shoot-off, and Kim Woo-jin got the best of him. The two met once again in Paris, and Kim Woo-jin won. In fact, I think Marcus has never beat Kim Woo-jin. I might be wrong in this, but for sure, Marcus is a very, very good athlete, and he will be shooting for gold in just a couple of moments' time. Off to Buyanto Tsyrendorziev from the international neutral athletes, his very last arrow of the set. Whoa, and it's an 11. He went in this progression shooting 9, 10, and then 11 to clinch the very first set. 30-29 up against Baptiste Adis, who I did not plot his very last arrow. I apologize for that, and I will do so.
Okay. So our comment section has became quite lively. So yes.
Good stuff.
There is a question that are the first rounds, for example, round of 16, also covered in Archery Plus? And the answer is no, not for the World Cups at least. During Olympic Games, which then it's not also in Archery Plus, but overall in the broadcasting it is possible to see all the matches that are shot.
Exactly.
But I have understood that this year for World Championships, earlier round matches, meaning like quarterfinals, are going to be covered for World Championships.
In Berlin, it was the case. Yeah.
Yes, and I think this year as well. I'm not sure if 1/8. I think not. It's starting from 1/4, so round of 8.
Quarterfinals, yeah.
Then it will be covered, and the World Championships are going to be in Korea in September, and that these matches will be covered all in Archery Plus.
Archery Plus, exactly. Subscribe now, and you can watch exactly what me and Sirat are watching over here. You can watch the next stage in Madrid, World Championships, World Cup final, and other competitions that are also broadcast. Baptiste, this his second arrow. I think for the second time in this set, he misses the line by just a matter of millimeters. I think provisionally he's got a 10 and a 9. Target judge will need to confirm, while Buyanto Tsyrendorziev, great form with 11 and 10. No doubt about those arrows touching the line. Baptiste might find himself trailing 4-0 despite a fairly good shooting by the young Frenchman. We see him gesticulating, talking to his coach. Maybe something doesn't feel quite right about his shooting. Off to Buyanto now at full draw. And whoa.
Wow. That's nice group.
A 9. For sure, this is going to be a 4-0 lead for the international neutral athletes Archer, who is a new face in the World Cup stage. But talk about tradition, as we were mentioning Spara, Lorendana Spara from Italy. For sure, it's the case of the international neutral athletes who have the strong Soviet heritage, the Soviet Union, who also won many Olympic medals back in the day, and we still see the ramifications from that up until today. From this angle, for sure, Baptiste's second arrow did not clip the line. I think the first one didn't either, so this should be a 4-0 lead for Buyanto Tsyrenov.
Yeah, I think so as well. That it's 4-0 lead right now. But we have some unsung fans who have joined, but missed what happened on the women's matches. So just to give a final kind of a reminder update is that Ansan won the semi-final and she got to the gold medal match. But there 6-0 Lim took the gold medal and Ansan is going home with the silver medal. So she did great.
Yeah, no, not bad for her, really. It's just that Lim Si-hyung was... she couldn't be matched by anyone today. She was on top form. And top form was exactly the shot that Baptiste just shot. Perfectly centered in the target. That was a clear 11. And Buyanto Tsyrenov drops a 9 low. Baptiste with a very good chance to stay alive in the match. Shoots a 9 not far from the 10 at 9 o'clock to the left. Off to Buyanto Tsyrenov.
I like to see the... these Baptiste and his coach, I think it's 11.
Yeah.
They are communicating really quite a lot, giving feedback, and like he's nodding on the shooting line if he has heard what the coach said and so on. So, and a good group, 10 on the left.
Exactly. 30 points for Baptiste. That is a very good effort by the Frenchman, but he will need Buyanto to drop a couple of points. Ooh, and talk about dropping a couple of points, literally. Buyanto Tsyrenov shoots outside of the goal for the very first time in this match, shoots an 8 low to the left, and this means that the young 18-year-old Baptiste from France stays alive in the match. He gets his name in the scoreboard. Now it is 4-2 for Buyanto Tsyrenov, and it'll be, just like in every other set in this match, the young Frenchman shooting first.
But after this set, so he had Buyanto had shot 2 sets that he was leading 4-0, and now he's 4-2 leading. But that set wasn't brilliant for him. So he went off from the shooting line, was like, ugh.
Yeah.
And then he stood there and he just took
a deep breath.
Really deep breath. So I think it's good if archers know actually how to release this tension, because if you keep it in, it's kind of like you have a boiling pot and you put the lid on it. Like,
yeah, it'll be
rather let it out and go freely again to the next.
Baptiste, it's funny looking at his target. He's constantly to the left. He hasn't shot a single arrow to the right of the center of the target. We saw him shaking his head, and now he's down by a point. Buyanto back in the center of the target, shooting a 10. A deep breath, as you you said there, relieving the tension. Baptiste, another 9. A little bit more towards the center, but still to the left and high. He's running out of time here. Off to Buyanto this time. It's another 10.
Yeah. So if he takes this set, if Buyanto takes this set over Addis, then he has won the match.
27, I'm afraid, won't do it, because Buyanto only needs an 8, and he hasn't gone outside of the 8 so far in this match. At full draw, lets it go. And it's a 10. Very strong performance by the international neutral athletes team archer. Buyanto Tsyrenov walks over to Baptiste Adis, shakes his hand, shakes the hand of coach Romain Giroux from France, and there we have Stanislav Popov as well, shaking the hands of the French team. And so that means that in just a couple of moments time we're gonna have a bronze medal match between Baptiste Adis and Jonathan Vetter, and the gold medal final to determine who's the big champion in the Recurve men's division will be between Marcos D'Almeida from Brazil, my former teammate, and Buyanto Tsyrenov. let me update here things then. Can you make predictions for the medal matches? Whose form caught you the attention the most?
I have a feeling that the experience that Marcus has is going to rule over Buyanto. But especially looking at the slow-mos, Buyanto's shot itself looks quite like, how to say?
I think
not like classically beautiful, but looking at the slow motions, the way the bow jumps out of the bow hand and the way the fingers release from the string, it's actually completely clear. So I think we might have some surprises there, but let's see. But for bronze medal prediction, I would say Adis over Vetter, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's hard to call. A lot of times we get it miserably wrong.
Yes.
But I really liked Buyanto's shot.
Yep.
It seemed effortless. It seemed like pretty straightforward. As you said, it's not textbook technique, but it's the opposite to what Jonathan Vetter was doing. I really had the feeling he had a very labored.
Oh yes.
Very tense
it came
shot.
with the struggle, and even at full draw, you could see him shaking, and it doesn't mean that he doesn't have enough strength over his bow. Usually archers who don't have enough strength to handle their bow, they don't make it to top 4. It's just the mental pressure that you are under when you are finding yourself in the finals field in front of all those cameras, in front of the live public, and you know that everyone at home and in front of the TVs is watching you. If you haven't had a lot of experience with that, you are going to be hit with it like so strong, like it's a train heading towards you.
Yeah.
But I think it also depends on the preparation work, and here the psychological side of archery really comes to play, because I can't really say that we have seen Buyanto a lot on the field as well, but probably they have done some sort of mental preparation where he has been under a strong mental stress, that he was able to still execute the shots what looked rather effortlessly. So
yeah, we're about to get started with the bronze medal final. Just bringing up real quick the schedule. So there we have it then, all the names decided for the medal matches. We're getting started with the bronze medal final between Baptiste Adis, who is shooting first, already at full draw, up against Jonathan Vetter from Germany. We'll go then to the graphics that I am feeding. Baptiste, starting with a 9, is slightly left and high, is still shooting to the left. Baptiste, somebody tell him, move his sight.
Yes. But it might be that the wind just keeps getting stronger and stronger, and it's one of the most frustrating things if you change your sight.
Did you see a little moment there? What a moment that was like for Baptiste. just to explain, Baptiste was in full draw, and then he had a little twitch. As soon as he released, he was smiling, and then he shoots an 11. What an effort that was from the young Frenchman.
Yeah.
Baptiste, ooh, and that went way to the left. And corroborating with your theory that the wind is indeed blowing stronger, it seemed to be a lost cause for the German, but I think he then walks away with a set victory. Yeah?
He seems surprised himself.
It's like, I won.
Did I just do it?
I started with an 8 and a 9 and you're telling me I won?
But again, this is very usual on the finals field, that you don't have this mental capacity to actually listen what is the opponent scoring, what are you scoring, adding up these 3 arrows of the opponent and 3 arrows of your own, and really making the math and making the conclusions that if you got 2 points or not. So That is very possible. You just focus on your shot and you walk out from the shooting line and you actually don't know who won the set points.
Exactly. Actually, the graphic that we had on our main feed was wrong because they thought that Baptiste's second arrow, who we've just seen the replay just now, it was a brilliant effort by him to keep it all under control there and still hit the center of the target. But actually, they thought it was a 10, but it was an 11. So it means that actually they tied with 27 points each, and it means that they split the points, and it's 1-1. We're about to get started with the second set, and Sirat is laughing at the funny faces archers were making in slow motion for sure.
Yes.
You don't want to miss it. Go to
Yes.
Archery Plus
I'm
and
not
watch all of that.
Bernardo. although he's here on a Sunday on his birthday, so I can be smiling about it. We have a comment that the pace seems faster than Olympics, that especially to think about the second semi-final and then going to bronze medal match, that the break there was like super short, and that is true. It's a very good thing to notice, like you're paying attention a lot, that for the athlete who is coming from the second semi-final, he needs to recover really quickly. So in that case, it is the Adis Baptiste who came almost directly from the second semi-final and again out to the bronze medal match.
Yeah, there is something also that links to this, as we have Baptiste looking really good to have a lead in this match.
That set is beautiful.
31 for Baptiste, who is, seems to be really hot, is waving his t-shirt, must be feeling so hot under that white uniform. Now imagine the German who's wearing a black t-shirt, a black jersey, shoots a 28, so it is provisionally 3-1 for Baptiste Adis. But back to the point of it going faster. A new thing that we have this year is, as we saw and we mentioned before, is the fact that the archers, they're all introduced before the session begins, and then in the matches itself, there's no introduction. They just come out and they shoot.
Yeah.
While in the Olympics, there is the introduction at every single match, and it introduces the athletes, it introduces the coaches.
Yeah.
Also, athletes and coaches come at the same time into the venue. In the Olympics, coaches come first and then athletes come later. So, yeah.
Even in many other events, it's like this, that the first coaches, then athletes, but now everybody come together, we make it a bit faster. So I think it's more exciting as the TV viewer and even more difficult to handle being there. But that's making it just more exciting, I think.
Yeah, and more dynamic. I like it.
Yep.
I like it better this way. Here we go. Talking about dynamic, that is a good word to describe the shot of Frenchman Baptiste Adis, who will be shooting second. Germany's Jonathan Vetter is now at full draw to start the third set. He will want to make a comeback to stay alive in this match. But that does not bode well for his cause. He shoots a 7 all the way at 3 o'clock, far, far away. And Baptiste is not forgiving that mistake. He shoots a 10 in turn. He says, I want to take this medal home. Je veux rentrer à la maison avec la médaille. Jonathan Vetter, in turn, shoots an 8. Seems to be really struggling. Baptiste Adis from La France at full draw. Yet another 10. Amazing
and
average.
That looked quite light and easy, like effortless shot, let's say, like this way.
Ooh, yeah, his shot is like that. And disheartening set for the German. Walks away from the shooting line.
It's definitely 5-1 unless... oh, wow!
Again!
And he really flinched strongly. Whoa. Like his elbow collapsed and then he went back. Like.
But the funny thing is,
he still shot at 9.
The contrast in body language that we've just seen as they walked out of the line. Jonathan looked defeated.
Yeah.
He just walked out like kind of no energy, nothing. Baptiste is walking out in a cheeky way, kind of almost like he's playing, kind of like, yeah, I can flinch, I can do whatever. And
after you collapse and then you still manage to shoot the 9.
Yeah.
You have nothing to be stressed about, really.
Yeah. No, he looks really cheeky, kind of like, like, nothing can
But I
faze
wonder
me.
what is it like, because I know a lot of ushers do it. If they hear someone else's clicker, which sounds similar, nobody shooting at the same time on the shooting line.
Yeah.
It could be some signal somewhere else, or it just could be the feeling that the clicker is coming and it actually is not coming.
Mm-hmm.
It could also be that some of the arrow point is a little bit damaged, because I had that sometimes as well, that you actually can feel how it's like moving under the clicker, and that is super bad.
I hate it. Jonathan Vetter in the fourth set.
Because he flinched in the first set and now on the third set, so it could be just one specific arrow that is making him do that.
You're right. That's a very good point. We've just had a 10 from Vetter, 11 from Baptiste. Vetter needs to win this set to stay alive in the match. He shoots a 9, and Baptiste, in turn, only needs to match his German opponent. Off he goes with his second arrow.
Ooh,
it's a
it's
10,
nice.
not far from the 11. Baptiste on top form.
It's really hot in there, because I see Addis Baptiste doing like this every time. It's just even the chin, and if it's hot, you start sweating, and your anchor points can start sliding. So he's just doing it to have the chin more dry.
He missed out on the podium in Shanghai, but just about a month later, he gets the job done, and Baptiste Addis is on the podium individually for the first time in his career. The very, very young 18-year-old archer from France shakes hands with his coach Romain Giroux, and now he lifts the bow, has the fist up high, celebrating, big smile, because he will be going up on the third step of the podium and going home with a bronze medal. Baptiste Addis, who, with this result, also makes up for a very good chance of making it into the final, the World Cup final in October.
Because if you have points for fourth place and third place now, then for sure you are already quite high up.
Exactly. So, in a very short time, we're going to have
gold medal match. And I think there has been a lot of discussion about the gold medal match, especially as we have a lot of people cheering for Buyanto in the chat, all writing in Russian alphabet. I'm not going to read it out all, but I believe there was someone who already thought he got the gold, and then there was a discussion, did he already win it? No, at least not yet, because we have the next match as gold medal match. It's going to be Marcus D'Almeida against Buyanto Tsyrenov. We have people following, a lot of people also cheering for Marcus, and I think all these Brazilian flags that we saw before are coming back to the comments as well. But as we have quite a lot of people watching us, I would like to ask, is it your first time following a watch along? What are your feelings? How do you like it? We can't do anything about the fact that on this YouTube channel right now you cannot see the live images. These are available in Archery Plus. But if you're listening to us commenting, is there any topic you would like to hear? Do you find it interesting? Would you like to get some more insights on a specific point of view or topic? Because I think we have quite a lot of experience in archery. So for me, 25 years already. It's yes.
How's that possible? Because you're 20.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm unfortunately not.
Before we start, I just want to say that a lot of the Brazilians, I know them. So Caio Matias, great friend, Rodrigo Esteves, Rui Macedo. Grande abraço para todo mundo que tá acompanhando a gente. Muito obrigado, galera. Vamos torcer pro Brasil aqui. And we are starting. First set, Recurve gold medal match. Marcus D'Almeida is shooting first at full draw already. Gold medal match about to get underway.
Oh, it's an 11. Really nice start.
It's an 11.
If you're listening to us, you don't see that Marcus has really bright yellow bow and then very quite bright blue shirt.
Yeah.
So it's very contrasting.
Yeah. You're right. Buyanto Tsyrenov shoots a 10, not bad, but already trailing by a point.
Marcus was not happy with that shot, but it is X at 11 points. So,
And laughing.
like, not even cutting the line. I think it's the same kind of reaction that, like, you struggled, but you still made it. So
Yeah.
it rather makes you laugh.
Exactly. Laughing.
And
all
now,
smiles.
deadly serious face again.
Off it goes. It's a 9.
Yeah.
But that means that for sure it is out of reach for the international neutral athletes archer Buyanto Tsyrenov. That means Marcos D'Almeida is going to be 2-0 up on the scoreboard, but that was a good finish by Buyanto, who shoots a 10, fist bump with the coach. It means that he misses by 2 points, but both archers looking good for sure. It doesn't feel like it was any injustice, the fact that these two are shooting for gold.
Yeah.
They were clearly the best ones in the semifinals. And yeah, you just got to take it one arrow at a time.
We had a question on another topic, is that how many languages do we speak?
How many languages do you speak?
I would say that I really speak only 2, Estonian and English, like quite effortlessly, but I have tried to learn French, so I can...
You understand French really well,
I
and
understand,
you speak reasonably well.
So I think like B1 level, I can speak French as well. I can read and understand a little bit Russian. I would not say that I can speak Russian, and I think Bernardo can speak a bit of Russian as well. Both me and Bernardo can read and write Korean, but I can't speak at all. I think Bernardo can. I could order food. That's my limit. That's my vocabulary basically as well, because I learned the Korean alphabet. I don't know how to. I don't have vocabulary really.
Language learning aside, we had 2 10s to start the match, but now Buyanto
Set.
drops an 8. Yeah.
The set.
Set, exactly.
It's 2-0 for Marcus D'Almeida at the moment, and they are both grouping
Little to the left.
little to the left, a little
D'Almeida
high.
misses the 10 by just a couple of millimeters. Buyanto finishes it off with a 9. That means he shoots a 27 in this match, in this set. Sorry, once again. Off to D'Almeida, who's got an easy... Yeah, it looked easy for him. He does get the job done. A 29 means that he's 4-0 up. And I wonder if, for the second time today, we're going to have an archer winning 6-0 the semifinal, 6-0 the gold medal final.
Could be, could be.
Yeah, Brazilians for sure will be hoping that will be the case, but the Russian audience, the Russian-speaking audience, I think will desperately be hoping Buyanto Tsyrenov can make a comeback in the third set.
Yeah.
All right.
But coming back to languages, I can understand a little bit of Finnish because I'm Estonian and our languages are very similar. But I wouldn't also say that I speak Finnish. And I can understand a little bit of Spanish because learning French and having some Spanish friends, Spanish-speaking friends, I think that has given me the sense of the language as well. But definitely also not a Spanish speaker. So,
No.
but I think you have more languages you can actually say that you think you speak.
Yeah, Brazilian Portuguese, Spanish, making mistakes, French, English, some Russian, some Korean,
Yeah, yeah.
and want to learn German.
Yeah, I think you have 4 quite well and 2 kind of a little
Yeah,
bit.
that's right, that's right.
Yeah, that's really good.
Back to archery. Buyanto Tsyrenov started with a 9 and D'Almeida with another 11. He is by far the archer that has shot most 11s today. A very, very amazing performance. Buyanto Tsyrenov needs to shoot 11s now if he wants to stay alive in the match.
Oof.
That is
and
far
that is an 8,
from
and that
that.
doesn't help because the match is already 4-0. If Marcus takes this set as well, he has won the gold. So it seems to be heading that way. We have someone asking how is the atmosphere there, what's going on. I think it's super hot.
Yeah.
Usually it is quite quiet during the matches when they are shot. Of course, spectators are reacting to all the tens and stuff that are shot. But the moment the athlete is shooting, it's usually quite quiet. Oof. So I need to come to the match. I give it to you.
Absolutely. We are seeing it. We called it, and it did indeed happen for the second time today, just like it happened in the recurve women, in the recurve men. Marcos D'Almeida from Brazil blasted past everyone, was no match for anyone in the field today in Antalya. He shot 6-0 in the semifinal, 6-0 in the gold medal final. It means that he wins a World Cup stage once again, books himself a ticket to the final in October in China. And what a performance that was by the Brazilian, who shot so many 11s. It was 4 in this match alone in 9 arrows. Very, very dominant performance.
Wow, then it's even bigger percentage than what he had in the qualification round, where it was almost every third arrow. Then now it was almost half of the arrows.
And I think that this rule could be something that benefits him, because I remember that when we were, so many times that we shot team trials, trainings together, he shoots a lot of 11s. A lot of 11s. So I wonder if this is something that actually comes to his benefit.
Could be.
In a couple of moments, we're going to hear from him, and I can be the translator.
Yes.
Talking about languages that we speak.
Yes.
So we'll wait for him to hear from him in a minute.
And before we had a lot of comments for Buyanto. They have gone more quiet, and we have a lot of people now cheering for Marcus. So I think Buyanto is going to be happy with the silver as well. At least he should be, because he hasn't been around much. His current world ranking is 59th. His season and career best is at international competitions is 667. So I think silver medal is very good, and he shot very solid in the semi-final. So
and another thing that needs to be taken into account is the fact that, of course, the international neutral athletes, they were out of the stage for so many years, and now they're coming back, and that's a good comeback. We'll hear now from Marcos D'Almeida, and I can be your translator. Just let me hear from him.
Foi shoot-off, foi muito perto contra o Kimundin. English? Okay. Sorry. So the last year is so close the gold medal because...
Okay, he's replying in English because I think there is no translator.
I don't remember shoot 10 or 9. And so this year happens the best way, 6-0, and get the gold back home.
So we hear Marcus saying that last year, as I mentioned before, it was very tight. It was in a shoot-off that he lost the gold medal, and this year he managed to win it in a much more comfortable way, and he's very happy with that.
Yeah, because he had 6-0, 6-0, which is great.
South American Games and the shooting South American Championship.
He's happy with his shooting. He really felt that he was shooting good, and if we look at the results, we can actually see that he was shooting good, feeling good.
Yeah, it's because earlier this week it was his mother's birthday.
Yes.
And tomorrow is his sister's birthday. So good present for whole family. And this, like in the interview, we were seeing up close, and you can see that he is sweating a lot, which doesn't come as a surprise because he was under the sun shooting and everything. But just makes me think that he's totally used to that, because in Rio, where he is from and where he lives, the national team training center is there, a place I know very well. And actually, I can tell you for sure, even though we are not in Antalya, I can tell you that in Antalya it's actually cooler than it gets a lot of the times in Rio. Like, it gets amazingly hot in there. So maybe he had this little edge over everyone else. Maybe everybody was feeling hot, and he was feeling kind of like, actually this is quite cool. No,
I saw him doing like this as well. At the same time, I believe Buyanto has had many training camps in the Antalya region as well this year and last year. So I think he should be getting used with the weather as well. But just to say some more stats on Marcus, who showed his prime shooting. He has been in the World Cup stages 32 times. 32 times.
Yeah.
And
since 2014 or 2013 was the first time he shot a World Cup, so he's been around for a long time.
Yeah, 32 World Cups, including this one. And then he has got individual golds 3 times, individual silver 1 time, and individual bronze also 1 time. So that is very, very remarkable.
So
and,
it's how many stages has he won?
Individually 3 times.
Okay, so
including this one, I think.
Okay, including this one. All right.
Because it seems it has been already updated here, and it's showing here in the stats as well. And so as he has been medaling that many times and been high in the world ranking, then he has got to the World Cup final 4 times, and now it will be his 5th time, because with this win he got the ticket to the World Cup final as well, and he has won the World Cup final in 2023. He got individual silver in 2014, so 11 years ago again. And bronze last year.
Exactly. Well, we're watching the medal ceremony. Baptiste goes up on the 3rd step of the podium, just received his medal.
First individual World Cup medal.
Absolutely. And I've been saying this for some time, and I stand by it, that we are seeing the rise of a future star.
Yeah.
I think Baptiste is for sure one of the big names that we're going to be seeing for a really long time. Just like we thought the same about Marcos D'Almeida back in 2014. And we see that materializing, and I think Baptiste is
and he's super young. He's 18.
It's crazy. He was the youngest man in the entire French delegation in the Paris Games.
Yep.
Really, really impressive. Buyanto Tirendorjiev receiving his silver medal, representing the international neutral athletes. We have the president of World Archery, Dr. Ugur Ederner from Turkey, is there giving the, the gifts, the souvenirs to the athletes, as now Marcos D'Almeida is announced, or actually, pardon, Dr. Ugur Ederner is awarding the medals himself. Marcos D'Almeida receiving the gold and a title in Antalya in Koniauti Beach. He does his traditional kiss on the medal, looks up to the heavens, thanking God. He's a religious man for yet another achievement. And not only he also gets the local souvenir, he also gets a beautiful shiny Herbelin watch. In just a moment's time, we'll hear the Brazilian national anthem.
Please stand for the national anthem of Brazil.
Caps off as we hear the anthem. Whoa. 4 matches that were 6-0. I wasn't expecting that. I thought we were gonna have more close matches.
But there
today.
was really a pattern. The ones who had 6-0 in semifinals went to gold medal match and did 6-0 there as well. So we had 2 really, really strong, commanding champions today. So very happy for them. They showed strong shooting, but I would not say that anyone was kind of super off, like shooting less than what I would have been expecting from them. Maybe physically Vetter was struggling with the shots more, because I think for him the setting was a bit hitting the nerves. But
I would think that it wouldn't hit that bad, because he shot in the morning in the team match, so I would think that would have broken the ice a little bit for him. But And one point comment here also, that the
winners were also the qualification round winners, both.
Yeah.
It doesn't
Good
happen
point.
very
Good
often
point,
like
yeah.
this. So, yeah.
Yeah. Good point. Almost done with the podium ceremony in Antalya. That draws us to a conclusion of this event that started on Wednesday in Turkey. It was the whole event running differently. It wasn't only the scoring of the 11, also qualification round, as Siret mentioned before. It was shorter. It was 60 arrows instead of the usual 72. It also meant that the schedule was different. The whole event was 1 day shorter. Usually it runs from Tuesday to Sunday, but this time it was Wednesday to Sunday, everything being a trial, a test for future events. And it was fairly positive. What's your opinion on the overall 11 and how everything happened in Antalya?
I stay
Diplomatic.
Stay to the same point that I think it makes a big difference for compounds. I didn't make the statistics while they were shooting, but I feel recurve matches, the outcomes wouldn't have been different with 10 or 11. Like either it's an X or 11. But I think it's worth further testing. I'm not like 100% sold on it yet, and I completely agree with the comment that 33 as the maximum set doesn't look as good.
Yeah,
And maybe
yeah.
that's not the most strong argument against
Yeah.
it, but like as I have been in archery 25 years, as I said, then 10, 10, 10, like it makes sense to be a maximum
Yeah.
score. 11, 11, 11, like even saying it is kind of awkward.
That's why I joked with it in the beginning,
Yeah.
because it doesn't sound the same. I'm in the athletes committee of World Archery, and when this first came to us and they asked our opinion about it, we weren't strongly against. We weren't also jumping kind of like, yeah, we should do it. But our opinion, and we were all unanimous in this recommendation, was that we would like, for example, if we decide that we're going to have the 11, then we just make all the zones, let's say, 1 becomes miss, 2 becomes 1, and so on.
Yeah.
So we're just all shrinking the target by a zone, because, yeah, I really want to have the 11 as the 10 as the maximum score. I think that we should stick to that. Well, I want to take the opportunity to say then that this brings us to an end in Antalya, so competition is over. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will be back with the watch along on the 12th and 13th of July. It'll be the 4th and the last regular stage of the Archery World Cup in the 2025 season. It'll be in Madrid, Spain, all leading up to the grand final in October in Nanjing, China. But because this is an odd year, we also have the World Championships, which are going to take place in Korea in September. And of course, all of these events that I mentioned will be covered here in the Watch Along by myself with amazing guests such as Siret Lewick. Siret, final thoughts on this competition and on all the action, and your final words, please.
So, on the actual competition, on the venue, the setup, the layout, it looked so beautiful. I would have loved to be there. On the shooting, I think athletes, basically all of them, managed the pressure really well. Like, we saw that Vettel was struggling to physically execute his shots, and usually it comes from higher anxiety levels or just not feeling so comfortable there. But overall, they are shooting by the beach. It's never no wind, and there must be some gusts. So having all the arrows in the red, and only very few reds, mostly in the yellow, I think they showed all very interesting shooting. And for recurve, yeah, I don't think the 11 as an X made a huge difference, but yeah, it was a good day of matches and finals. It's just surprising not to see Korean men, none of them in top 4, but that's archery, and actually maybe they just need to step up their game a bit for the mixed important competitions.
Yeah, what I'm afraid is that such a result is actually only gonna drive them to do better on home soil at the World Championships. But hey, stick with us to find out what's gonna happen on Archery Plus. You can watch everything. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. It was an absolute pleasure to be here with you today on the day of my birthday. So I really didn't wish to be doing anything else. It was a pleasure to be here with all of you, with Siret. And if you excuse me, now I will head off to have a little barbecue and celebrate my birthday. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. Obrigado, galera do Brasil, que assistiu aqui com a gente. Foi uma performance maravilhosa do Marcos, realmente dá muito orgulho. Então, muito obrigado, galera. I'll see you in a month's time when we'll be back here for Stage 4 in Madrid, Spain. Until there, no matter where you are around the world, I wish you all the best. Have a good end to your day, and all the best. Bye-bye.
I think we have